Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I really wanted to ask the question, is it realistic to think that the Jets could knock off the Buffalo Bills for the AFC East? We look at the current standings and the Bills are still in first place, even after the loss on Sunday, but they're sitting there at 6-2. Behind them are the New York Jets at 6-3. I mean, they're right there. We're a half game back of first place and we are literally in November. Right, this is absolutely nuts, but the Jets are in second place. Right behind the Jets, the Miami Dolphins, also at 6-3, but the Jets own the tiebreaker between the two teams. And look, Tua is locked in, and they're currently on a 3-game winning streak. They're right there in the thick of it. And then in last place, right, in fourth, we got the 5-4 New England Patriots, but the Pats have won 4 out of their last 5, including that win against the Jets, and much like the Jets, they're also entering their bye week in the 10th week of the NFL season here, okay? So the point is, this division is completely wide open. At this point, it wouldn't shock me if any one of these 4 teams won it, right? We've seen New England go on these crazy winning streaks. Again, Miami's on that 3-game win streak. The Jets are just proving everybody wrong left and right. And the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion, are still... I gotta be honest, I still think when Buffalo is healthy, they are the best team in football. So if these 4 teams continue doing what they've been doing all year, I could easily see this division not being settled until literally the last week of the season. Okay, it's that good. It's that talented. And look, I think, yes, the AFC East is obviously super important, but I think the reality of the situation, there are going to be multiple teams making the playoffs, especially with the 3 wild card format that the NFL has installed. There are going to be multiple teams from this division making the playoffs. I think there's no doubt about it. Now, Chris Mortensen reported yesterday that Josh Allen is currently being evaluated for an elbow injury to his UCL and related nerves. The Bills also hope to get some more information at some point today. So we'll see how it plays out. But, you know, you're reading those words and, you know, UCL, elbow injury, my mind instantly jumps to baseball. You know, Tommy John surgery. That's to repair a torn UCL. Crazy enough, I actually have a buddy, a college pitcher. He just had Tommy John surgery not too long ago. You know, he has the big scar and everything like that on the inside portion of his arm. It's serious stuff. Now, the exact severity of Josh Allen's injury has not been released. Mortensen went on to quote another reporter, basically saying that Allen delivered 2 passes after the injury initially happened, with Bryce Huff coming around the corner and hitting Josh Allen's elbow, and that it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of panic surrounding this one. Now, personally, I want to see Josh out there. I want to see Josh at 100%. You know, I know it might not go with the Jets' percentages and chances and everything like that, but I like Josh. You know, a good player, a good dude. Funny enough, I actually met him years ago. He was waiting for an elevator. I bumped it. This was before he was drafted by Buffalo. Anyway, bumped into him, and we're right around the same age. So it was just cool talking to him. It wasn't weird or, you know, super like strict or like super professional or anything like that. It was literally just, like I was just talking to, you know, another one of my buddies, and we were actually joking around about him getting drafted by the Jets. So he was a cool dude, but you know, I'm hoping everything with his elbow is good. I don't want to see a young player like that go down with, you know, some major elbow injury, especially when we're talking about the quarterback here. When we look at the Buffalo Bills schedule from here on out, it's pretty tough, right? They're home against the Minnesota Vikings this week, home against the Cleveland Browns, at Detroit, at New England, home against the Jets, home against the Dolphins, at Chicago, and the Bears are really coming onto the scene. I know they're not winning a bunch of games, but Justin Fields looks, I mean, he's so much fun to watch, one of my favorite players. Then after the Bears game, they're going to Cincinnati, and then they close out the season home against the New England Patriots. Now, as I'm looking through the schedule, assuming Josh Allen is healthy, there's definitely a lot of wins in there for sure, right? I'm not saying that the Bills are going to lose out or, you know, something crazy like that. But just scanning through here, there's wins, but man, there's a lot of tough games here. Like going to Foxborough, that last game of the season against the New England Patriots in Cincinnati, you know, that December 11th game against the New York Jets, right? The Jets just beat them. We can't just mark that in as an automatic W for Buffalo. I think, you know, Cleveland's winnable, Detroit's winnable, Chicago's winnable. The point is, Buffalo, yes, they're in a good position right now, but there's some tough games down the stretch for this Bills team. it's definitely going to be something to monitor as the weeks go by. When we look at the Dolphins schedule, this week they're home against the Cleveland Browns, then their bye week, home against the Texans, at 49ers, at LA Chargers, at Buffalo Bills. That 3-game stretch is nasty. I mean, that's a tough 3-week period there. Then they're back home against the Green Bay Packers, at New England Patriots, home against the New York Jets. I think, the Dolphins should, on paper, beat the Browns. They should beat the Texans, especially having 2 weeks to prepare for them. I think they might get one of those West Coast games. They should beat the Green Bay Packers. I feel like Green Bay is, extremely disappointing this season. They might split the last 2 games of the season with the, being in Foxborough and then home against the Jets. We'll see, man. I mean, the Dolphins, it's another team. Like, a lot. Yes, the Dolphins made those splash moves. Armstead, Tyreek Hill, just trading for Bradley Chubb. I don't feel like they've gotten a lot of respect from like the national media and everything throughout the course of the offseason. And then it wasn't until like the first couple of weeks when they started racking up W's where they started to really gain a lot of attention. But moving on here to the New England Patriots schedule, this week they're on a bye, home against the Jets, as we all know. Then they travel to Minnesota, home against the Bills, at Arizona Cardinals, at Las Vegas Raiders, home against the Bengals, home against the Dolphins, at Buffalo Bills. So I think the big thing with this Pats schedule, this Pats team overall, I think it's really dependent on the offense. We know Bill Belichick, we know that defense, we know they have, young emerging stars. They have older veterans that are producing at a high level, like Matt Judon, and McCourty is still back there making plays crazy, but we can never count out the Patriots defense. Everybody knows they're going to come out, show out every single week, but it's the offense, right? There's been some questionable play calls with Matt Patricia as the, full-time play caller. Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi. What's exactly happening there? Mac has played really well over these past couple of weeks against the Jets and the Colts. We'll see if that continues. But look, Stevenson has really came onto the scene at running back. I'm looking at that Patriots team. I think, again, it's really on the offense's shoulders. I think as a team, they're going to go as far as the offense takes them. And then last but not least, when we factor in the Jets schedule here, bye week this week, then at New England Patriots, home against the Bears, at Minnesota Vikings, at Buffalo Bills, home against the Lions, home against the Jaguars, going to Seattle, to Miami. Okay, so those last 2 weeks I think are going to be tough, 2 back-to-back road games. But the good thing for the Jets, right, when I'm just looking at the schedule, the 2 games prior to those back-to-back road games, so mid-December against the Lions at home, December 22nd, home against the Jaguars, those 2 games should be wins. And look, the Jets have shown this season that they can win on the road. They've gone to Denver, to Lambeau, to Pittsburgh, and gotten wins. Okay, so let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think it's realistic to, even suggest this, to think about it? Can the Jets knock off the Buffalo Bills? I think right now, looking at how everything has played out so far, it is realistic. I don't see, a situation where, the Jets lose out, of course, assuming nobody gets, any catastrophic injuries or anything like that. But, looking at how New England plays, Miami plays, the Jets and the Bills, I could easily see any one of these 4 teams winning this AFC East. It's going to be crazy. But let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.